Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is almost 10 o'clock on Friday morning, this July 24th. I can't even believe it's almost the end of the month, but it is. I do want to apologize. I'm having a little problem with the brackets on my Acron stand, and I don't have the strength enough to to undo and then retighten one of the brackets. So that's why the camera is half down here. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, but what can you do? It's fine. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. Let's start. It is Friday in Franklin, Massachusetts. It's a glorious, glorious day. So let's get started. All right, let me bring over my picture of the cards that I sent to you in my newsletter this week. It is Christmas in July, number 4. So this is the card that we're going to be doing today. And I do apologize if you didn't get a chance to read my newsletter. I do apologize. I said we were going to do a poinsettia card. However, when I realized that there was a little bit of work involved with the prep for both the poinsettia and for the Lily of the Valley card, I said I won't have time enough to do both of them this week. So I went for an easier version, but I think this is a cute card. So let's actually start with this card. So let me bring this in. Let me just show you. And if you did read my newsletter, I said I'm going to do, hey, Beth, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for popping in. Popping in from Canada. I love it. Thank you so much. How are you doing? All good. Happy Friday. Excellent. And I hope your mom's doing well as well. Okay, so here we go. And as I was saying, in my newsletter, I said that I was going to change this up just a little bit. And I am. So let's get started. Let me put this over here. And let me bring in my paper. So here is my base, which is the basic 8.5 by 5.5. And it's scored. And now I'm just going to give it a nice crisp fold. Good morning, Jan, my other Canadian friend, mother-daughter. I love it. Thank you for popping in this morning. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I hope the smoke hasn't given you much grief up there. I was in Maine, as some of you know, last weekend on Sebago Lake, and we didn't have any of the smoke, but we did here in Franklin, Jack said. So it was crazy. But anyway, I hope that you're recovering from that. All right, so here is this. Now, the next thing I did, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to put a layer of gold behind this. So in order to do that, what I did was I took a piece of the gold foil, the metallic gold foil, and because I'm frugal, I like to, and I only wanted the perimeter to show, what I did was I took the rectangle stitch dies and I cut this out. This is a piece that I'm going to use for another card. So it's silly to waste that inside when hardly any of it shows. So anyway, there is this. So this is going to go on like this. So allow me to put some adhesive on this. I'm going to use my snail. And I could have used Tombow wet glue. That would have been fine too. And but that's okay. So I'm going to put this on like this, equidistant, east and west and north and south. I know you like that, Beth. I'm glad you like that. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Whoops, almost. There we go. And I don't care that this is a little cattywampus because that's not going to show. All right, so there is this. Now, the next thing I did was I took 3 pieces of designer series paper. This paper actually came from a Stitch Season. This is old. I don't even have the container that this went in, but this is an old piece. But I liked it because it's got the gold stripe and it's olive, obviously old olive with the old olive on the berries. So this is going to go in like this. Now, in order to put these on, because this is a metallic piece of paper, I don't want to use Stampin' Seal, or I don't want to use Tombow. I'm going to use something stronger. I'm going to use tear tape. But this is how they're going to go. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is put tear tape on these pieces. So let me get my tear tape, a brand new roll, actually. This is a brand new roll. By the way, can you tell me if you're on Facebook or YouTube, Jan and Beth, because I'm having some trouble with my Facebook again. I don't know why, what's going on. But anyway, so I'm going to put little pieces of paper, tear tape, on the ends of these, just like this. Perfect. And this is going to go on like this. And then one more on this panel. This is a very quick and easy card. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh, Barbara Lash. Let's see if we can fix this situation. I should not have put this down because we've got to get the ribbon underneath here. Ugh, 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 ugh. Well, let me see if I can take this off. I'm going to use my spatula end on my take your pick tool and see if I can lift this up. Silly me. You're on YouTube. Okay. All right. Well, I know that that's good. YouTube is working. I can't believe I did this. Oh, Barbara Lash. But let's see if I can pull this up. Looks like I'm going to be able to be successful with this. The spatula tool is a great little tool. And it's working. Look at that. See, there are no mistakes in Stampin' Up. Maybe I shouldn't say that until I get this completely off. Let's see. I'm just going to finagle a bagel here a little bit. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Just like filleting a fish or something. There we go. All right. And here we're almost done. I can't believe I did that. Okay. That's going to be okay. Let me just see. Even though we've got a little bit of fluffiness here, let me take this fluff off and let me bring this in. Yep, that's going to work. Okay. All right. So let me put this over here for a moment until I get these pieces of designer paper on. We're going to put it on the silicone pad, which here is a perfect example why silicone pads help with adhesive, because there, thank you, Beth, there are no mistakes. You are so right, girlfriend. I love it. All right, so here we go. Here's the first one. This is going to get put on like this. And I want to make sure that I've got it on evenly. There's the first one. That looks good to me. Now the second one is going to be this little stripe. This is kind of a cute little pattern. I liked it like this. All right, so this is going to go on here. And I'm sorry if you're seeing the top of my head. Okay, there we go. There's that one in. All right, there. And this one. One more. And if I need to trim this out, I will. That's going in just like that. Perfect. Okay. There. Perfect. That's fine. Okay, now I'm going to take the ribbon. All right, so this is the piece of red satin ribbon, which I absolutely love, 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 love. And I'm going to add more. Actually, I'm going to add a lot more adhesive here because I absolutely need to make sure it's going to stay. So there's this. I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to put it on very carefully. I think this looks good here. Oh, let's move it up just a tiny little bit. Okay, this is good. I could have put some tear tape on the sides of this, and that would have been fine too, but this is okay. Yep, this is good. There we go. All right. All right, now I'm going to add some more adhesive over the satin ribbon. Satin ribbon is beautiful. It is thicker than some of the other ribbons that we have. Actually, this is not Stampin' Up! Ribbon because I ran out of my ribbon that I had. Wait a minute, let me get this little piece of Finnerty off here. Okay, now I'm going to put it back onto my card base. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. There are no mistakes in Stampin' Up! Look at that. Perfect. There. Okay, now the next thing I did was I took two dies from the Sweet Words and Label set, which is actually part of the Silly Old Bear Suite. And on one of them, the white one, I embossed Peace and Joy, and that actually came from what stamp set? That was an old stamp set, a very, very old stamp set. But you could use whatever you wanted. So I embossed it in gold, and then I took this piece of gold foil and I cut it out with that. And how pretty is that? So what I'm going to do here is I am going to add this on with some snail. I could use Tombow, and probably I would use Tombow, but I didn't. What dye did you use on the gold? They're from the Sweet Labels Sweet Words and Labels dies. Those are the ones that come with the Silly Old Bear. I'm sorry, Beth, you can't get that. The Silly Old Bear. But you could, there are lots and lots and lots of other different dies that you could use that would accommodate whatever word you wanted. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, now we need to get, I wish that, you know, you guys in Canada could get that set because it's so stinking cute. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to get some dimensionals. I've been working on the hot foil system. Oh my gosh, I'm like a lunatic. I absolutely am a lunatic about this hot foil system. I've been working on it. I've got a demonstrator meeting tomorrow, and we're going to be playing with that. So here's some new dimensionals. We love dimensionals. All right, so now I want to make sure that this sticks very nicely. So I'm going to make sure that I put dimensionals on the north and south borders and maybe on the northeast, southeast areas as well, like this, because I don't want it to necessarily stick with the ribbon. Here I go with the hiccups. I don't get it. Every single Friday I have hiccups. I mean, seriously, what's up with that? All right, here we go. I am putting quite a few on, but that's all right. All right. Get all these off. The card base. Rectangle, stitched rectangles, Beth. Another oldie but a goodie. But you could use the decals, rectangles. Those would work as well. Yeah. All right, so here, this is going to go on like this. Just like that. Perfect. And I made sure that I got this little indentation right in the middle. And I did. There's that. Now, let's make a bow. Now, I said on my video that I would show you how to do it. So this week, I've been working on bows. I have 200 bows that I have to make, 100 for one customer, 100 for another customer. So I decided to get my little bow thing out, which is... You can get these on Amazon. There are demonstrators that make them. Actually, I think Julie Gilson, some people get hiccups when they get excited. Maybe you're excited to show us. I'm always excited to show you, Beth. So there you go. There, that's a good explanation. From now on, if I don't have hiccups, then something will be wrong. Okay, so anyway, I think Julie Gilson sells these as well. This is a great tool to have. It comes with 4 pegs, and it's got 6 different, actually 7 different holes that you can use. And when you first get it, you want to play around with it because you want to see which pegs make the smaller bows, which ones make the larger one. This is a medium-sized bow. So here is my ribbon, and this is about 13.5 inches long. It's probably longer than I need. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it behind me, and then I'm going to take the right side and put it underneath the left. And then I'm going to take, on top of this. Then I'm going to take the left side, and I'm going to bring it right on top and right to the back, and then right to the front again, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to just make sure the ribbon goes down as far as it can. And then I'm going to make a knot. Easy. Okay. And the trick about this is you want to make sure that you get this knot nice and tight. Wait a minute, I'm going to do this one again. I twisted the ribbon. Satin ribbon is a little bit on the tricky side to do because you want to make sure that it's thick. It's a thick ribbon. And you want to make sure that your ribbon is facing the right side each time you don't want to, in other words, you don't want to twist the ribbon. Okay, so here is this. And then I'm going to just make a knot. And the trick on this is you want to make that knot as tight as you can get it. Pull that down, make it tight like this. And then you pop this off, and here is your bow. Whoops, I did the fronds the upside down way. So wait a minute, let's take this off and do it again. That's the tricky part about satin ribbon. Chiffon, organza works well. It works very nicely, easy. There we go. See, this got twisted a little bit, and I don't want it to twist. There, that's fine. And then I'm going to make my knot. And there we go. And then you can take this off, and you can straighten that out a little bit because that little center section. But other than that, it looks fine. So what I do is especially with the satin ribbons, the thicker, like the grosgrains, I hold the center of it and I take the two ends like this and pull them down as much as I can, wiggle it like that. And then when I place it on my design, which I'm going to do right now, I am going to use a lot of glue dots. So let me just twist this back to its pointer position. And let's get some glue dots in here. And I'm going to put one here. And I'm probably going to use like 5 or 6 of them because, again, this is thick. And I want to make sure that this bow stays just where it needs to be. So here is another one. I'm really sorry about my Acron stand. I don't have the strength anymore to pop that up. Undo it. Okay, so there is this. And then let's put this in like this and press it down really, really well. And then, how cute is that? Then I'm going to take my ribbon scissors and cut. Oh, I probably could have gotten away with 11 inches of ribbon, but it's okay. All right, and then I'm going to take another glue dot and I'm going to put it right here. This looks like a good spot. Whoops, it came off onto my finger. All right, and then I'm going to anchor that down like that. And then I'm going to take one more and I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to take this off and bring this down like that. Look at that. Now, I am going to trim this off just a smit, just a little. There. There, perfect. Okay. Now, what do you think? Isn't that pretty and easy? So this is Christmas card number 4. Don't sweat the small stuff. You're still making a great video. Thank you so much, Beth. You're so sweet. Yeah, I don't sweat the small stuff anymore. I sort of sweat the big stuff, but I try to not sweat that either. Anyway, okay, so there is Christmas card number 4, July Christmas card number 4. All right, so there's that. Now, let's bring in the Lily of the Valley. Now, this card, oh my gosh, when I saw this, I went absolutely bonkers. This is a card that demo Pam Brown. I don't know her. I don't know where she's from. But anyway, this is the card that popped up when I pulled Lily of the Valley under my Pinterest. And I don't even know if it was Pinterest. It might have been Facebook. I don't know. Anyway, I absolutely love it. I think this is so exquisite. This could be used for so many different things, truly. It could be a beautiful sympathy card. It could be a great wedding card. It could be a birthday, thinking of you, whatever. So let's make this. Okay, so let's bring all the stuff in we need. First of all, our base is garden green. So here is a piece of garden green. And I've already cut it, blah, 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 and scored it. So let me get my thing here and fold it. I love my bone folder. It works so nicely. Okay, so the next thing I did was I took a piece of basic white cardstock and I ran it through the embossing folder, floral design. Now, I have to tell you, I was looking for something, floral spray. I was looking for a full die embossing folder, and I didn't have one. However, floral spray has Lily of the Valley at the very top and at the very bottom. So I simply put it in at the very top, and I ran it through, and look at how pretty that looks. So this is the layer, the first layer. So let me get this on. Here, we're going to add a little bit of adhesive here. And I will be generous with my adhesive. Again, this has a lot of dimension, a lot of concave and convex dimension to it. And I certainly want to make sure that it stays nicely on my card. So this is going to come in just like this. Perfect. East, west, and north and south. Beth, I think of you every single time I do that. Okay, so then the next thing I did was as what Pam did. She used a piece of vellum and she used a piece of a Whisper White basic white cardstock. So I did the same thing. However, what I did, and I don't know if she did it, I didn't read her directions. I took the vellum and I took the, there's a little piece of there. And I took the white cardstock and I put them together and ran it through at the same time. In doing so, the stitching from the stitched rectangles embedded into the white piece of cardstock. So to some degree, this vellum is already stuck on to this paper very nicely. However, I am going to lift it up very gently and I'm going to just add 2 little strips of adhesive to secure it down and make sure that I've got it exactly where it needs to be. Really, that's all the adhesive you need, because the rest is going to get put on with adhesive. Right now, I'm going to put just some snail on the back of this, and then I'm going to adhere it to the front of the card. All right, and don't worry, you're not going to see on camera. Can you see the little adhesive marks? Don't worry about that, because that is not going to show. So this piece comes on like this. And again, I want to make sure that I get it centered nicely. And I think it's a nice little trick that you can use vellum on top of cardstock, and especially if it's got a perforated or a scalloped edge, whatever, because it will help to embed into that layer very nicely. Okay, then the next thing I did was, of course, let me show you the stamp set. This is, whoa! I dropped the stamps. This is the Lily of the Valley stamp set, and it's got the dies to match. So I went ahead and already cut out 3 of the Lily of the Valley flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? And then I also cut out 3 leaves like this. Beautiful. So now on my sample, you'll notice that the flowers are as is. However, one of my dear friends said, you know, your friends who are coming to class next week might want to have those stems green. So I'm going to make the stems green. You don't have to. You can if you want. You don't have to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Garden Green ink, and I am going to take a blender pen. Whoops, I didn't mean to open that all the way. I want to get to the well right here. I'm going to take a blender pen, and I am going to, let's see, just add a little bit of blender pen right here. And I'm just going to take this, and I am going to color just this, like this. So if you choose to color your stems, how easy is this going to be for you? Of course, I'll have everything here for you, like that. Easy, easy, easy. I think it looks great either way. You can color it or not. So there is one done. That didn't take me but a few seconds. And this is only going to take me a few seconds. And it doesn't matter that there's variation in the color, because that's how Mother Nature is after all. So I'm just going to color this in very gently, very quickly. And then, look at that. Like that. When I color, I really can't talk a lot, which is maybe good in some situations. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Coloring is just such a relaxing thing for me. I say it all the time, Mrs. McGovern. Oh, there's a little piece that didn't pop out. I gotta get that out. See that little piece right there? Not to worry. Okay, there we go. That's done. Let me get this out of the way. And before I forget, let me get a little pick tool or something here so I can get this little piece out. See that little tiny piece just snuck in? Decided to stay. Oh, gone. There we go. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my winky. I'm going to wink these little flowers up because they need winky after all. Oh, there we go. Lily of the Valley, that's such a beautiful, beautiful flower, and it smells so good. Ooh. It's so fragrant. It's so pretty. I don't have Lily of the Valley. Well, in one of the first houses that we lived in, we did have a Lily of the Valley patch in the back, and it was so beautiful. Now I'm going to do the same thing to my leaves. Oh, this one's losing some of its ink here. There we go. That's giving it a little bit. Okay, one more. Oh, I think I'm going to have to get another winky. Let's see. Oh, look at that one. Whew. And again, we've got a variegated leaf here because it's Mother Nature. And Mother Nature does these things. And here's one more, the last one. This one's losing some of its, there we go. I go through so many Wink of Stella. I should have added some alcohol to this. I will do that after, because you can do that, you know. You can open up the chamber and add a little bit of rubbing alcohol and shake it up real good. And then the glitter will attach itself to the alcohol, and then you've got a little bit more life in your Winky. So that's what I'll do with those. Okay, now I'm going to bring my base back in. And I'm first going to add some adhesive to this. And this time I am going to use my Tombow. I do, Jan, I do. I have a truckload. You would be amazed at how much I buy them in a huge lot. Okay, all right, so here's my first flower. Oh, wait a minute, the leaves have to go on first. Silly me. All right, let's add just a little bit of adhesive here. Here's the first one. Whoops! Did I bang the camera? Okay. All right, so this is going to go on like this. I'm going to put this one on here. And I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I did on my first sample. That, and then this one is the middle one. There you go. Can you hear the people across the street mowing their lawn? They've got one of those rider mowers, and it's very noisy. All right, this one's going to go like this. Perfect. Tap, 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 tap. And then this one, I'm just going to have it swing out a little bit to the left side. Isn't this a beautiful card? Oh. So as I was saying, I've been playing with the hot foil system. Oh my gosh, I'm like a kid, and it's like unbelievable. I can't even tell you. We'll be doing stuff. I'll be showing you stuff. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take one of my Lily of the Valley stems, and I'm going to put this one right at the top like this. Perfect. And I'm going to tap that down very gently like that. And I am going to trim these bottoms off, but I'm not going to trim them off until I get all three of them on here. So here's the second and third one. Let me turn these over, bring back my little Tombow. Come on, baby, there we go. Just little daubs. You don't need a lot. Oh, look at this. How did I get this piece of green here? Huh. How did that happen? Whoop. All gone. No mistakes. That was just a little add-on. That little piece of paper wanted to be part of this party. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. And now this one's going to go on like this. Perfect. Tap that down very gently. What are you thinking about the extra color on the stems? Yes or no? It's everybody's preference, you know. You can do however you want. And then this one's going to come just like this. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You're just going to place them wherever you want them. And then I'm going to take my little snippies. Oh, you didn't even see. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just going to take this and cut this off like this. I'll get that little piece. Whoops, this little piece right here. There we go. Okay, now, and then this little piece comes off too. All right, there we go. All right. Now I'm just going to pat those down with my finger. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, gosh. Okay, so then the next thing is I'm going to take this message, which I absolutely love. On my sample, I used the one that said, to one of the nicest people I know. And I'm going to repeat that because I absolutely love this little saying. And what did I do with, here's my little banner. This was a different banner that I used. And where's my little Pierce pad? Here it is. Let me move this out of the way and put this up right here. There we go. And I'm going to stamp this like this. Perfect. I'll get this out of the way. And this one is going to go on with it's going to be flat because I've got plenty of contour here. So this is going to just take, okay, never mind, right here, right in front of me. Does that happen to you every once in a while? You say, where are my glasses? They're right in front of you. I'm smiling, look at you, Nursey Scissors. Thank you. All right, so this is going to go on the bottom, and I'm going to try to eyeball it equidistant east and west, and that looks pretty good to me like that. Well, that's going to get patted down like that. Perfect. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pearls. Now, what did I do with my pearls? They're here somewhere. Oh, pearls, where are you? I deliberately went, oh, here they are. Okay, here we are. All right, let's get some pearls. Now, I am going to put pearls. I'm going to put like 3, I think, or maybe I'm going to put 3. I'm going to put one up here. These are little ones, not the tiniest ones. There's one, and then here's another one. Look at how pretty this card is. I can't even stand how beautiful it is. Let's put this one right up here. And then I'm going to put 2 on the banner because it has to be an odd number. You know how I am. It has to be an odd number. And that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Gosh, sometimes I shock myself at how good I can do this. All right, I think that looks good like that. Perfect. Whoops. Okay, now we've got to get a bow in here. Oh, you know what? I haven't done the inside either. But let's get the bow. All right, so I had to order this. I can't even believe I did. I had to order this from Amazon because we don't have organza ribbon. And the organza, I wanted to use organza because I'm going to show you why. On the first card, card that I made, I used a very thick, I'm going to show you, well, it's sort of thick. It was this beautiful satin ribbon with the inside, the outside is chiffon. But the middle, when I made the knot, it was too thick. The amount of times I have everything ready for project, I have to look for something that 2 seconds, I would be, I get it, Beth, I'm the same way. So this was much too thick, and I didn't like the way it was sitting. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get some chiffon ribbon. So this is the chiffon ribbon. And this one I'm just going to bow like this because this is very easy to make a bow because it's so soft and it's so thin that you can easily just make rabbit ears and make your bow. Look at that. So this is this. And I'm just going to keep pulling it down until I get the smallest bow that I want and make it nice. Let's see. That might be, no, that looks pretty, well, maybe just a little bit smaller, tiny. I mean, it's eyeball. It's however you want it, really. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so then for this, I definitely have to use glue dots, and I'm going to use my larger versions. I have so many glue dots. You probably do too, especially if you have kits that you get. So I'm going to start this like about right here. And I am going to put 3 because I want these things to stick nicely. Because there's a little bit of tackiness going on right now because the Tombow hasn't completely dried. So I'm being extra careful not to pull it up with my fingers. Okay, there's that. And I think I'm going to just put one more because this one only half of it went on. So let's do this right here. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to bring my bow in, which I'm very happy with. And I'm going to plant it right here. And I'm going to press that down really, 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 really tightly. All right, so there's that. And now I'm going to trim this off because I don't want it to, well, it's okay that it goes over that a little bit because this is organza ribbon and it looks nice like that. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of garden green twine. This is, what is this measurement? These are, so it's 9 inches each, and I doubled it up. And again, I'm going to make a little bow. I'm just going to do rabbit ears because, again, this is thin. Rabbit, you could use this. You could use the bow maker to make these bows, which is absolutely fine. However, when I have something that's as thin as twine, or something as soft and thin like chiffon or organza ribbon, I find that if I make bunny ears, it works very nicely. Beautiful card. Thanks, Beth. Thank you, Pam Brown, for sharing this with us. Okay, and once I get this in, I'm just going to make these a little bit smaller than the first one, than the white one. And I think that looks pretty good to me. Now I will add some more glue dots. And I'm going to put it right in the center like that. And then I'm going to add another one right adjacent to it. So there's 2 on here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on, press down really firmly like that. And then I'm going to take my ribbon scissors and I'm going to cut these a little bit shorter than actually, yeah. I can cut that a little bit smaller. Okay, there's that part. Oh, isn't that pretty? Let me get this out of the way. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Oh, and in real life, it looks even prettier. And the ribbon is just so soft and sweet. And this just covers this up. I could pull this over a little bit if I wanted, but I like the way that it kind of overlays on the banner. Now, the inside, have to have the inside and the envelope. So for this, where did I put my, oh, it's right here. Okay, I'm going to take the inside of the card. I'm going to take some gray granite ink. I am going to use the image of the lily of the valley with the stems and flowers like this. Perfect. And I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to do this right here like that. And then I'm going to take my envelope. Here's my envelope. Oh, I've already got this envelope done. Okay, so I'll just show you what the envelope looks like. I'd forgotten that I'd done that. All right, close that up. And then I'm going to take my Winky. I'm going to add some Winky to these beautiful Lily of the Valleys. I didn't want to use Memento or a different darker color because I thought it would be too stark. Lily of the Valley is such a delicate flower, so I decided to do that. Then I'm going to bring in my green, my blender pen and my green ink. Whoops, I did that again. And I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to very lightly color the stems just a little bit. Not the stems, the leaf. Silly me. Like that. Going in one direction. I like one direction painting because, again, when you're using something that's got fluid in it, if you go back and forth, my experience is that maybe I was just using too much pressure, but it would pill the paper, and I don't like that. So then I'd have to start over again. Blah. Anyway, there is that. All right. So let me get this out of the way. Let me put some adhesive on this. And let's get the inside of this card done, and it is done. So anyone who's coming to class next week, you just let me know how many of these you want. And then, oops, I got to take, see what I did? I put the adhesive on the side where I use the Tombow, but not to worry because it's going to be taken care of. I'll show you. All right, so here's the inside of the card. And then, as I said, I'm just going to take my adhesive remover and very gently go in one direction and pull that off and pull this off. I love this little tool. I wish we saw them again, but we don't. But you can get them many places. Okay, there we go. So there's the inside of the card. Here is the envelope. How pretty is that? Isn't that beautiful? Now this is the one with the green, so there, you can see the stems. And here's the one that I made for my newsletter without the stems being colored. I think probably, I like both of them, but probably I would do this one. But maybe not. Maybe for a wedding card, I do. You know what? I just thought of this. If I did this completely all in white, wouldn't that be a stunning wedding card? I think it would be. The white leaves, everything white. Oh, I think it would be lovely. Anyway, those are those. And here is Christmas in July, number 4. So that is it, my friends, for this week. And next week is the last day in July. Can you even believe that July is just about over? Oh, gosh. Anyway, thank you very much for popping in. I hope you've enjoyed this morning. I really appreciate your support. I know that sometimes it's a little bit hard to, there we go, to pop on Friday mornings, but I know that a lot of people go to my reruns, and I appreciate that as well. So until next Friday, and I thank you, Beth. I think so. Yeah, if I had a preference, I'd probably do the green stems. And thanks to my friend Linda who suggested that. Anyway, I'm going out for a swim right now because it's so glorious in my neck of the woods. I'll see you next week, and I'll show you some hot foil projects next week. And we'll be into Christmas number 5, Christmas in July number 5, and then we start Christmas in August.